Now I know that your father was incarcerated for a lot of your childhood.
Yeah, for 7 years.
How does that, knowing that everything that you're currently facing, right? Does that make you look at everything now differently?
What?
With Blueface being incarcerated, you obviously dealing with your son alone. Like, does that make you look at all these situations differently?
Damn, nobody asked me that question. My bad.
It's all right.
What the fuck?
Take your time.
You're allowed to be emotional.
What's the question?
With your father being incarcerated while you were young, 7 years, and you think about raising your son right now, and his dad is not around, are you able to handle that a little bit better? Does it change your view on it?
Damn. What the? Ask the question.
Got you.
I don't think I was ready for this interview.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. No, basically all I'm asking is, with everything that transpired,
what?
Losing your father
Okay.
for 7 years, him not being around, you're dealing with the same scenario right now with your son.
Not too much, though, because my son ain't going to remember it.
But you do.
Take a break. Take your time. Take your time.
Relax.
You good.
Not bad. Okay.
We could go back to singing. I'd like where that had you. That had you smiling.
I need to answer this question. Say it one more. This is a good question. Say it one more time. Right when I'm ready to say something, it's just this frog in my throat.
Yeah.
It hurt. All right, go ahead.
You lost your father for
Okay.
7 years when you were young. He's incarcerated, right?
Okay.
You're dealing with a similar scenario now, right? With your son and your child's father being incarcerated. Does it change your outlook on it at all?
I feel like whatever's happening to you, there's nothing more you can handle. So I don't know, like I can't explain it. Like I'm thinking it's normal. Like, I gotta get it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it. You've really changed your life around for your child.
No,
Like,
for God.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a better way to put it.
That.
For God.
Was it your son that made you want to do this?
It motivated me and encouraged me, but when I went to jail and I was able to hear the Spirit of God clear, I started getting scared because there was certain things I had to stop, like secular music, like whatever my gift is and edifying the world with it, I couldn't do it no more. Like,
Time for a change.
it wasn't just time for a change. It was like the more I was reading the word, the more it was like depositing certainties and answers, and like the Holy Spirit was louder. And I was fasting too. So I was consecrated for real. And I don't know, I just started praying for insight and start having visions and dreams. And then like, I didn't have no bail. Like I wasn't eligible for bail for some reason. And then the lawyer I had at the time was like, yeah, we're just going to take the 4-year deal. And then you probably would just do 2 years or some shit. And I'm like, so after like that phone call, I went to my cell was like, what do you need from me again? Like, I start talking to God, like, what do you need from me? Like, because I didn't do, like, it just didn't feel like it was right. Like, no bail, 4 years. My lawyer is crappy, but I just paid him $35,000. Like, I had to get a whole new lawyer. But long story short, it was like, it was just something I needed from God, and it's something He needed from me. So I had to surrender. And surrendering came with, like, giving it all up. Like, the relationship, like sex, just stuff, sin, for real. Sinful nature. Like, I don't know. What was the question again?
I mean, you answered the question. You know, it's just, originally you answered the question. Just how things relate to what you went through as a child compared to what was going on now with your father incarcerated and the things that it does, especially to a girl. You know, like that for a boy, obviously you got your guidance, like that's your dad. But for a girl, you know, that's daddy's girl, you know, and that.
Yeah, like when I'm about to throw my pussy. I mean, I can share this. So when I met him when I was 7, not met him, but he finally came home. I seen him a couple times, but I was scared of him. I didn't know who he was. And he wanted hugs and kisses, and I'm like, no. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like him. Not like that, but like that. And then he came home. I was excited to have a dad. And then, I don't know, the way he handled my mom physically, I didn't like that nigga. Like, the resentment, I used to pray that he died in his sleep. Like, I don't know. I was a kid just like crying for help when he moved in after he came home from jail. So, I mean, my other siblings got a different version of my dad. So, I can't speak for them. But for me, like we're getting, I don't know, like my sister, they're getting in trouble. Or like they go up the street when the lights come on. Like, you know how when the street lights come on, you gotta come home. So I think something happened like that. Like they didn't come on right away. So he'll line all my sisters up against the wall and just slap them in the face. Like twice, 1, 2. And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm sorry. But that really impacted, like, I just feel like my whole foundation of my life. Like with my mom and all that. Like my mom ended up abusing her antidepressants, then getting hooked on heroin, then going to methadone to get off of heroin, then back to antidepressants, and then now she like, I don't know, God is doing like a revival in her. Like I can call her and she's up instead of like sleep.
Yeah.
So.
Do you get to take her to church at all?
She go to church herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she go to the church that so when I was a baby, I guess she just my dad and my mom house got raided, so when she came out from jail, we didn't have nowhere to go, so we went to this one church and the pastor like blessed her with somewhere to live, and then long story short, she never left that church ever since.
God is good.
Yeah, but I explore different churches just because, just for my liking.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that church, but it's just, you know.
We just had Rolly up here and we were talking about therapy for men, you know, and one of the things that he mentioned is just because you go see a therapist doesn't mean that therapist is the right one. You know, you could go seek another therapist and there's one that's going to click.
Right.
And it's the same thing with pastors in the church. Like the one that clicks with you, the one that knows how to talk to you. No, but I have a strong relationship with him. It's just I'm driven to go over here. Yeah. I can't explain it. Like, I love
That pastor. But it's crazy because I have relationships with a lot of pastors. I don't know.
That's dope.
Yeah, I got like.
If anything, you're able to receive the message in different ways.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Like Sarah Jakes, Pastor Mike Freeman, Pastor Mike Todd, Pastor Will, Philip Mitchell, 2019 in Atlanta.
There's a really dope pastor out here, Rich Wilkerson. Food Church, yeah.
Church. But that's dope, though. For somebody who moves around, it's natural for you to have to find it in other towns, in other cities. And like you said, you will find the one that speaks to you best, the one that speaks to your language in a way that you can receive it a little bit easier. Because the whole Bible is in parables. You know what I mean? The whole thing is kind of in riddles. So where it meets you and where you meet it could always be a different place at a different time. But it's important that you're seeking it. And that's what seems to be clear. So it's okay to have a relationship with different pastors. It's not about like a loyalty thing. They don't get jealous in that way. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you, go ahead, tell the good brother I sent you. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like a lot of people just suffer from mental illness. So it's hard to like connect to God when you're mentally ill. Like, or you're, I mean, not like that. I can't explain.
You're emotionally unavailable. You're blocked off. You don't want to hear a message because you don't believe in it, which is why I tell a lot of people, like, just go sit down in that room and listen to the message and tell me if, like, what you believe that, because a lot of people's mind are so skewed when it comes to it. They just think they're going to go in there and they're going to get, just like when we were young. We go into the church. We don't understand anything that's going on. We're grown now. You walk into that room, you're going to get a different message. You're going to hear it a different way. There's going to be something that motivates you or inspires you or something that talks to you. That says, you know what? Like, I'm not the only one that's dealing with this. Sometimes that's what it is. It's like, I remember vividly just walking back into a church when I finally walked back into a church at 32 or 33 years old. And that message, I swear, was delivered to me. And it changed my life from that day. I never turned back from certain ways of my past because of that day. Then that is what altered it. And it's for everybody to be able to go in there and get a message, whether you believe or not. There could be some motivation.